Today again I came with the chapter Refraction of Light for class 10, and the second part, the second segment of that chapter is Refraction through glass prism. The topics what we are going to discuss today is prism. We are going to understand what is prism, the refraction through an equilateral glass prism, and the factors affecting the angle of deviation. First of all, we will understand what is prism. Prism is a 3D figure, three-dimensional figure, students, where we are having five plane surfaces, and within which all are not same. What I am saying, five plane surfaces, but their nature is not same. Among these five plane surfaces, students, there are three rectangular surfaces. Three rectangular surfaces and two triangular surfaces. Okay? And they are having a triangular cross section within that. Once again, how can we define the prism? Prism is a 3D refracting body, or plane refracting body we can say, having five plane surfaces where the three rectangular surfaces along with two triangular surfaces, and they are having a triangular cross section in between. So the next topic what we are going to discuss, that is the refraction through the glass prism. Now students, we are going to understand the refraction of light takes through the equilateral glass prism. Suppose this is an incident ray we are allowing to pass through this glass prism. Okay, so it will refract like this. First of all, I will tell you how it behaves, then why it behaves, I will come to that. So incident ray is passing and entering into this glass refracting body, and as it is a denser medium, rarer to denser, it's a rarer medium, and this is a denser medium, so obviously its refractive index is more than this particular medium, so it will refract. The light will not go to its actual path. Its actual path is this one. Okay, student? Now, after refraction, it will again come out to this air medium, rarer medium. So, it will again bend away from the normal. First of all, where is the normal we need to understand? To every surface we draw the normal perpendicular to the surface, right? You almost all know this. Similarly, for this surface also, this is normal and dash, this is normal and double dash we can take. Now different terms are there. This is what we call, calling I1 or angle of incidence we can say, and this is we can denote by I2, or you can denote by E also, which is called angle of emergence. And generally for equilateral triangle we take the value of I1 and I2 equal. Anyways, let's do this once again. So this, if we draw it back, if you draw the rays back, you will find another angle that is known as delta. Students, very important. Incident ray entering into this glass slab, refracted, came out, emergent ray, and within this whole processes, we got how many types of angles? This is known as delta 1, delta 2, R1, R2. We are going to find the relationships also, write the relationships, how they are interrelated. And this is known as angle of prism. Angle of incidence means the angle between the incident ray to the normal. I1, we are denoting it. After refraction, from the first surface, it is we are representing as R1. Then with the second surface, the refraction takes place, that is known as R2. Similarly, when you draw back this refracted ray and this also known as angle of deviation, students. Angle of deviation. A very important topic. Angle of deviation, which is known as delta. Symbol is like this. So similarly, this is delta, so this will be del 1 and del 2 we can represent. So, on the whole, the refraction is taking place in such a way that incident ray is going refracted, came out in the angle of emergence, and the emergent ray is there. So, these are the total angles. What we have to find the relationships or write the relationships. We are having R1, R2, I1, I2, del 1, del 2, and delta. So these are the angles. You may go through back to this video. You can find out, check out. If difficulty would be there, we will discuss. Now we are going to write the relationships of the different angles. Now students, we are going to find or we are going to understand the relationship between the different angles mentioned over there in the glass prism. Angle of deviation, as I have mentioned to you, it can be gettable with this I1 plus I2. It means angle of incidence plus angle of emergence and minus the angle of prism. Angle of prism means like this is an equilateral triangle, so it will be 60 degrees. So that particular value will be placed here. So within this, we can find the value of angle of deviation. Now what is angle of prism and how can we find this? Angle of prism is equal to, we can find with this particular relation also, R1 plus R2. It means these two angle of refractions we are using here. This if you add together, you will find the angle of prism. And suppose there will be conditions. We have gone to the glass slabs also that if the angle of incidence and the angle of emergence are equal, suppose in that condition we can take that value I. So angle of deviation could be written in this way also, I plus I, that is 2I minus A. So I hope you have understood the relationship. Rather than go to the book also, you will find the relationship written properly there. And if you have doubt, we can discuss further. So further we go for the factors affecting of the angle of deviation. Which factors are affecting the angle of deviation? Okay, now students are going to understand the factors affecting the angle of deviation, which is very important for examination point of view. There are 4 factors affecting the angle of deviation of the glass prism. First is the angle of incidence. Here we are taking angle of incidence as I. And I am going to make you understand this particular factor with the help of this I delta curve. Angle of incidence and angle of deviation curve. Where, as you can see, with the increase of the angle of incidence, with the angle of incidence increases, the value of angle of deviation is decreasing. First, I increases, then del decreases, delta decreases, then the delta becomes a minimum value it gets, after which I increases, then delta also increases. Can you see this one? Once again students. With the increase of angle of incidence in the beginning, the angle of deviation decreases. And as it gets a minimum value, minimum angle of deviation, after which that minimum value will be anything. So, after this value, after this angle, the angle of incidence increases and afterwards the delta also increases. So first in the beginning it is decreasing with the increase of angle of incidence, students, and after this minimum angle of deviation, when it crosses that value, it is directly proportional. It becomes directly proportional, means it increases, then angle of deviation also increases. I hope it is clear to you. Second point, students, refractive index of the material prism. Refractive index of the material prism means mu we have discussed. If mu increases means we are slowing down the speed of light. If we are slowing down the speed of light, then what happens? Then the angle of deviation also increases. More the refractive third number, angle of prism. If angle of prism increases, students, angle of prism increases, then the value of delta also increases, and if the angle of prism is decreasing, then this will be also decreased. Angle of prism could not be decreased. We can change the prism because it's a solid figure. No, we cannot compress or we cannot expand that one. But if you change the prism with the different values of angle A, similarly you will find a change in the angle of deviation. Fourth and last point, students, wavelength and color of light. Wavelength or color of light, student. As we have discussed earlier, wavelength is inversely proportional to the refractive index. Okay? So if refractive index increases, then wavelength decreases. And if wavelength decreases, then what happens? The speed of light also decreases. Correct? So, if it is having direct relationship, see, refractive index increases, then angle of deviation increases. So, if the wavelength of the color of light is decreasing, then what happens? The value of angle of deviation increases, because this is directly proportional to refractive index. Understood, student? So refractive index increases, wavelength decreases, and if wavelength decreases, then angle of deviation also increases. Understood the relationship? You please go back and you can see all the points and explain properly. Then also if you have problem, you can comment, you can ask. Okay? For the next video, I will come with the different relationships of the critical angle and the total internal reflections. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a good day, students.